Barack Hussein Obama, the man who single-handedly ripped this country apart, has decided to weigh in on Charlie Kirk's assassination, and it's just as tone-deaf and lacking in self-awareness that you would imagine it would be coming from Barack Obama. Combative, divisive, harmful, check, check, check. All of the hallmarks of an Obama moment. As always, Barack Obama has seized on a pivotal moment in our history because he just can't help himself. In the most Obama of ways, he decided to pour gasoline on the fire of Charlie Kirk's death with the most Obama of lies.
As President of the United States, my response was not, who may have influenced this troubled young man to engage in that kind of violence, and now let me go after my political opponents and use that.
Ooh, wow, stones in glass houses, huh, Barack? How about total and utter BS? It's actually disturbing, not just shocking. It's disturbing how much Obama lied through that interview. For Barack Obama to say that he never came after his opponents, well, that's a lie that we can unpack, but we will in a moment. But for him to imply he never politicized these kinds of tragedies is outright brutal dishonesty at the highest of levels. Hey, Barry, is this you making it political and dividing the country right after a shooting? President Obama, an Oregon shooting. This is a political choice that we make. Sounds like it is. Have we forgotten how divisive this man was as president? And now we know Barack Obama, for what he is and for what he did to the country. And it's not enough that it turns out to be factual that Obama pushed an investigation on President Trump's supposed collusion with Russia, which he already knew never happened. This guy wants to talk about not going after his political opponents. He was looking to not only stop Donald Trump from being president, but he was part of a treasonous coup to take away Trump's freedom as well, and his whole life savings. And despite us knowing all of that, Barack Obama has the nerve to say this.
We have to recognize that on both sides, undoubtedly there are people who are extremists and who say things that are contrary to what I believe are America's core values. But I will say that those extreme views were not in my White House. I wasn't embracing them. I wasn't empowering them. I wasn't putting the weight of the United States government behind extremist views. And that is when we have the weight of the United States government behind extremist views, we've got a problem.
So that is a filthy damn lie. The race baiting, division stoking, that was all ignited during the Obama presidency. When running for president, Barack Obama pretended to be a moderate. He pretended to love the country. Boy, did he have us fooled, didn't he? At least half of them. He presented himself as a moderate, but was anything but moderate. Once he made his way into the Oval Office, Obama was never a uniter. He wanted discussions, but only on his terms. He portrayed himself as reasonable and then acted unreasonably. He left this country more divided than ever on his way out. After he won on a campaign filled with slogan words like change and hope, Barack Obama would go on to create the violent party that we see today in the Democrats. For 8 straight years, he set the tone with his angry, divisive, anti-American rhetoric and race-baiting rants, fanning the flames of racial division. You can thank Barack Obama for the summer of mostly peaceful riots in 2020. Barack Obama and Black Lives Matter set race relations in this country back hundreds of years. Not 100 years, hundreds of years, all in the name of politics and power. You can believe that. When you divide and conquer, and that was their plan. They were very divisive. And now this pathetic excuse of a former president wants to talk about extremism. Judging people by the content of their character and not the color of their skin is not extreme. It's just a position you and the left, you created, you disagreed with, so you demonize us. Believing that the Constitution guarantees us limited government and personal liberty, well, that's not extreme, Obama. That's what it's written. It's God-given. in the Constitution written. Believing that owning firearms is a natural God-given right that allows the physically weak to protect themselves from stronger predators or a government, a tyrannical government, well, that's not extreme, Barack. It's written in the Constitution. Believing that nations have borders that they're entitled to control and protect, not extreme either. Believing there are only two genders, not extreme. By the way, Barack Obama, you used to believe there were two genders until you became president. Then you said, I think I'm going to rethink that. Believing that people should face the consequences of their own bad decisions and reap the rewards of their own good decisions, well, that's simply meritocracy, not extremism.